Well, be sure to keep your eye on the sky this next week because for the first time in 2 years, Brook's Seaplane will be taking flight once again over Lake Coeur d'Alene. KREM 2's Nathan Hyun gives us a look at what to expect.
Well, Brook Seaplanes is finally back here in Coeur d'Alene, and now under new ownership, this Beechcraft 18 is set to take its first public flight on Thursday. For the first time in 2 years, Brook Seaplanes will have planes flying over Lake Coeur d'Alene.
That's looking real good.
It will be the first time since a plane crash that killed 8 people in July of 2020. Now under new ownership, Shane Rogers is excited to open back up to the public.
I'm giddy. Literally, I am excited as everybody that comes through here to get this going.
Brook Seaplanes got its start on Lake Coeur d'Alene back in 1946. Now after 2 years away, people are excited to see the planes over the lake once more.
That's been a staple here at Coeur d'Alene for years and years. We've been coming years and years. We're moored over here at the marina, so we always enjoyed seeing the planes taking off and flying around the area. So I think it's a great opportunity to get back in the air for everybody.
Roger says this all came to be when Ann Lunt, the widow of previous owner Neil Lunt, who died in the crash, reached out to him about taking over the company.
I was local and do a lot of local aviation stuff. So me and Ann got together and kind of talked about it, and things worked out, and here we are today.
The new plane's a Beechcraft 18. It's an old-fashioned design first made in 1930. One retired pilot says he has fond memories of flying his own 5 decades ago.
Ended up flying these for probably 5 years and accumulated quite a bit of time on them. If Coeur d'Alene becomes anything like Northern Ontario was, you're going to find it's a big boom for the tourism industry.
The public can start booking tickets now. Tickets for adults start at $150 and $100 for children under 18. So again, for the first time in 2 years, Brook Seaplanes will have its first flight over Lake Coeur d'Alene next week. And if you want to have a seat right here in this plane, you can book a ticket on brookseaplane.com. In Coeur d'Alene, Nathan Hyun, KREM 2 News.
Nathan, thank you so much. In other top stories tonight, loved ones are now mourning the loss of a Caldwell mother and daughter who went missing more than a week ago. Caldwell police say preliminary information shows it appears both died from gunshots in a murder-suicide. Caldwell police say this happened in Oregon. Grant County Sheriff Tom McKinley says the mother and daughter were found Thursday inside of their van. The Grant County Sheriff's Office and Oregon State Police are investigating the scene. The women were last seen June 30th before heading out for a camping trip. For the latest details, go to our website at krem.com. Kootenai County Jail has been declared out of compliance with state standards after failing their inspection because of overcrowding. When fully staffed, the jail's functional capacity is around 380 inmates, which is about 80% of its total capacity. The jail has 450 beds. Now they say they've been at 90 to 95% capacity for about a year and a half. The jail did meet all other state standards, but the continued overcrowding could mean increased insurance costs. To address the overcrowding, Sheriff Bob Norris wants to create 2 additional pods at the jail that could house over 100 more inmates. Animal shelters in Spokane sit at max capacity this weekend. They need help getting animals adopted. According to Scraps, their dog kennels specifically are completely full. To make it easier for people to adopt, they're reducing their fees. Right now, it's just $28 to adopt a dog and $18 for adopting a cat. They're also encouraging people to foster animals if they don't know if they want to adopt. This lets them help other animals in the meantime and gives the animal a safe place to stay while they wait for their forever home. For more information, if you are interested in adopting or fostering, visit us at krem.com. In the meantime, let's take a look outside because earlier today it was beautiful, it was sunny, it was warm, it was a little different than some of the weekends we've had recently. Isn't that right, meteorologist Michelle Boss?
Yes, I think we're finally settling into a more typical summer pattern, what we would normally see in July, which is usually pretty hot and dry. And it's nice to have that sunshine and dry weather for the weekend. So to take a look at satellite and radar, we did have some stormier weather earlier today. Started out in the southern Idaho Panhandle around the Grangeville area and worked its way to Missoula and portions of western Montana. Even that activity has pushed into the eastern parts of Montana. So things are pretty quiet across the inland northwest right now. And we expect quiet weather tomorrow as well. Temperature wise, mostly 60s and 70s, right at 70 in Wenatchee, Moses Lake, and Othello, 70 in Spokane as well, and 60s in Ritzville, Pullman, Moscow, and 70s in Lewiston. Here's a look at the next 12 hours. We'll have partly cloudy skies overnight, dropping down into the lower 60s, and then should be warming up fairly quickly. A little bit cooler tomorrow. It's going to be breezy from time to time, similar to what we saw today. Highs near 80 degrees in Spokane, heating up for the upcoming week, and looks like we'll be in the 90s by Tuesday.
In developing news, both the mayor and city council propose ordinances surrounding the ongoing housing crisis in Spokane. If the city approves new sit-and-lie ordinances, public camping would be illegal on almost all downtown sidewalks, and Spokane police have to help enforce those laws. KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk spoke to SPD about how the agency could be impacted.
People are camping in front of your business, laying in front of your business, just creating problems and discontent.
Chris Batten, chairman of the Downtown Spokane Partnership, says businesses are on board with Mayor Nadine Woodward's proposal.
The feedback has been positive for sure.
Camping would be prohibited at all times under viaducts near the river and in all areas of the Downtown Business Improvement District.
Businesses that are closest to the track are obviously the most impacted on a daily basis, on either side of the railroad underpasses, but it's throughout downtown.
The city already has laws on the books prohibiting camping in public places, but the Ninth Circuit Court ruled in 2018 that cities cannot cite or arrest homeless campers when there isn't enough shelter space available.
We think it's the right ordinance at the right time. Certainly it meets or exceeds the expectations of Martin versus Boise.
Before 2018, police could ticket and arrest people for sitting, lying, and camping in areas they aren't allowed to. Even then, Corporal Nick Briggs says the department's philosophy has never been enforcement first.
We're always trying to solve the situation, even prior to the Martin decision, trying to solve the situation in some other way, connecting people to services, finding people a more suitable place.
Writing tickets or taking people to jail was a last resort. Now it's not really an option.
It is much harder now to kind of have that last line of problem-solving ability if somebody is willfully refusing to leave and continuing to maintain a potentially dangerous situation.
So if the mayor's proposal passes and city council and officers have more enforcement tools available, will SPD even have the resources to respond?
There are areas where we're not always able to provide the level of service that we want to in every category, and violent crime will always be our top priority. So yeah, if there's areas that are competing, we might not be able to allocate all those resources that we want.
And the Downtown Spokane Partnership hired an independent law firm to analyze the Martin v. Boise case. They determined the city could take steps to clear out encampments downtown with a low risk of violating the court ruling. The firm also indicated that the city runs a higher risk of getting sued by businesses if they don't address public camping concerns. In the newsroom, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.